Mhm. Hello, how is everyone? We are live. We're going for a cruise. This is just a little last minute thing, but there's the FG, there's the Honda Legend. Let's start the Lexus. The Valiant. Oh my God, the Valiant. All right, let's check some equipment tonight. Look underneath that thing. There is some awesome suspension going on underneath that Valiant. So actually, that thing's turbocharged. Turbocharged. I could be heard. Don't know if the car can be heard. We are going for a cruise to a car meet from the north side of Brisbane to Sunnybank. We're on a Saturday night where it's known for cool cars and good food. So we have with us tonight the No Problems FG G6E Turbo with about, I'm guessing, but about 700 horsepower. Uh, I could be wrong. I'm sure they'll tell me later if how close I was. Then there's the Honda Legend. I think it's the V6 model. And then the old Valiant. It's got the love heart indicators on the side. It's fully stanced. It's got the stretch tires on the fat rims. Chucking mirror. So if Tez is out there, awesome moderator, let me know how the sound's going, mate. This car with no headlights on. The owner in the left lane just up ahead. You definitely need the headlight counter. No headlight counter. That's one tonight already. How many side uplifts count? Sure about the Mazda. Oh, the V6. The V6. It's a V6 with VTEC. Anyway. So yeah, four quite different cars. Quite different cars. Pretty crazy. Oh, been bundled out. Anyway, like I said, just a bit of a practice tonight. Thinking of going for a long drive tomorrow in the day. Hopefully the weather is good because it's been quite wet lately, but hopefully tomorrow we'll drive from, well, we'll drive interstate. That's all I'll say for now. Interstate. Mayfield. Valiant. Turbos. Turbo noises. Early days on the stream, people. Early days on the stream. So we've got to start somewhere. So no, there's not a lot of people watching, but if you're keen and you're interested, it's all fun. We'll be driving through Brisbane tonight. God knows which way. I'm just playing follow the leader with these guys. But we'll see what happens. See what happens. But the weather is great. It's cool. It's good for these turbo cars, that's for sure. Not this one, obviously. But it's good for all cars. I think they might be running E85 in front of us as well. And for anyone watching this back, not from Australia or New Zealand, that in front of us is one of the last Ford Falcons ever made with the mighty 4-litre Barra turbo. Such a good motor. It's it's up there with the 2JZ and the RB. This is an RB for straight 6 turbo goodness. And so good, in fact, that used ones are getting boxed up and sent to the States for drag racing. There's a few barriers over in the States being drag raced now. Yeah, they're pushing some big power. I've got a couple of friends that have 1,500, 1,600 horsepower, 4-litre turbo barriers. One in front's only about half that. Yeah, a measly 700. don't know how much power the Valiant behind us is pushing, but it's 245, 6, and but with a turbo. The owner has done pretty much all of the build work himself. Suspension, cross members, all sorts of stuff under that thing, and then the turbo manifolds. Yes. Well, they left lane it just in case. There's all right, Tezza, you're there now. Thank you, mate. Like I said, this is only a bit of a test, so Dominator. Dominator. How are you doing? Yeah, so bit of a test. Plan on going for a longer drive tomorrow, but just want to test some sound. I've swapped sims. I don't know if Tez knows this. My awesome super moderator. I've swapped sims, so we're using the Optus sim at the moment. So if it glitches out, well, we'll find out. We'll see. We'll see how good Optus is tonight. If it glitches out, stops working, maybe it'll flip across to the Telstra one. But I've swapped the SIM cards, so we'll see what happens. Traffic doesn't seem to be in much of a rush tonight. It is it 6:30? So far so good, Tess. Like, so is my voice coming through all right? Close over there. Hatchback cutting across the yeah, well, we're only driving through this around like pretty much through Brisbane City and to Sunnybank, so it should be quite light. Camera should look good. I have changed something. Can hear you perfectly. That is sick. It's good to see, Tess. Thank you. We're still going to have to try to get you on the phone on the live stream. That would be fun. I'm sure we can do that. Maybe not. Change the lanes. Change the lanes. Change the lanes. Or thank you. That was a quick lane change by the by our legend. Let's just say on the legend tonight. Focus looks good. I have made one change. I've made a few changes to the screen. Tezza, see if you can pick them. See if you can pick the changes that I've made to the screen. There's two changes. One might you might notice one, you might not notice the other. Had a request. I think I've fulfilled that request. Let's catch up some friends. This guy's hit the brakes. No reason to hit the brakes. He's old. He's an old fella. He doesn't know where he's going. He's probably going to take the Clem Jones tunnel exit. He doesn't know. He's half and half. He's taken the exit, but I'm not sure that's where he wanted to go. Too late now. He's going to have to pay the toll. Who is our driver tonight? I'm driving. I am driving. I'm multitasking. See, here's the turbo notices. If you can't hear it, I'll make them. The logo has changed, Tessa. The logo has changed. I think it looks. I don't know. What do you think? I think it looks a little better. I think it looks a little better. Just hate to make a change and it not be better. Let's just say that. Now, are we taking the tunnel? No, I don't think we will. So I won't want to be in this lane. So let's get across in behind the FG. FG. What does FG stand for? F and good. Maybe. Maybe. Yes, the logo's changed. I thought that crappy black box looked wow crappy. So I got rid of the black box. I've updated the logo slightly. I think it looks a little better. I'd like to animate it. Oh, thank you, Tez. Looks much better. Yeah. Well, I think so too. Having that blue background. The black square box just wasn't doing it for me. It's an eyesore. So did a little editing in Photoshop. And I think it looks alright. Wait until I animate it. Make it move. I mean, a steering wheel should steer, let's be honest. But all good things come with those. As we come up through towards Milton, so just coming towards the end of the inner city bypass here in Brisbane. I think we'll probably be going all the way to the end, turning left, and then onto the Riverside Expressway and heading south towards Sunnybank. Still have to find the Honda Legend that took off through the lights. That's the thing when you're traveling in convoy with a bunch of friends. Traffic up here, well, yeah, I think the Dolphins played that we want this lane. Line goes. I'll stick with my friends. The Dolphins play tonight here at Sunnybank Stadium, so the traffic through here probably a little congested at the moment. Suncorp Stadium just up to my right. No dropouts yet. Maybe Optus is just better. Oh, check out the MX-5. Nice. Oh, look at that. The van gave a bit of a flash to the person in front of the FG one. Change later. It's nice. And a bit of a friendly driver action tonight. Friendly driver action. We are changing lights. Trying to think ahead. That's what you should do when you're driving. Trying to think ahead to where you're going. Know where you're going to go. Fun when you're following somebody else and then they decide they want to make a turn late and then you have to try and follow them. It's always a challenge. So I don't think my front camera could be a little more front. Probably a little bit more front. Tezza, can you pick the other change? I'll buy you coffee next time we catch up. If you can guess what the other change is besides the logo. Oh, look at this Falcon in front of this. Oh, I shouldn't put on Falcon. The G6E Turbo not using their indicator. That's terrible. Might have to talk to the owner about not indicating. Depends which one was driving our company. So she might be getting chauffeured around. I think that was our friend in the Honda Legend yelling out Legend. Without giving up any names or anything, the guy in the Honda Legend actually used to own this Lexus, and I bought it off him. So have history to go back. Anyway, heading out of the CBD, Kangaroo Point on our left, our south of to our right. And we are just hitting the M1 and south. Now, you keep going, you'll end up in Sydney. Well, the M1 goes to the Gold Coast and turns to the Pacific. Then you keep going. Change to the Princess Highway or the Hume Highway, and then it becomes. Oh, he's got the underglow on as well. Is that pink LED underglow of the Legend? So the Clem Jones Tunnel, which is where the that old fella in the what car was he in before? He might actually pop out of the tunnel. He might pop out of the tunnel. We might see him again, even though we've had to go through a couple of sets of lights. Oh mate, he should be ahead of us somewhere, but he was driving it slow, so there's a motorcycle left coming up. be a valiant somewhere around here, behind us, somewhere. There he is. I can tell because his car he's so jacked up at the back and down the front. So I can see he's not driving a wedge at night at all. Almost it's like 76. So yes, on the M1 heading south, I think green slopes. I think we're taking green road exit. Well, we can look up on the boards up here at how visual they'll be able to say road exit 4 minutes, Logan Road exit 6 minutes. As far as I think Baines Road and Clough Road are very close. So this big Lexus trundles along the highway. Doing highway speeds, we're doing about 90 and doing 1,500 RPM in eighth gear. I do really like this car. And when I upgrade it, I'll be upgrading it to a two-door version of this car. Slightly newer two-door version. A little bit more horsepower, a little bit more tech. Less cars. Well, that's how much I like this car. It's me to get slightly better version. You never know. And is to once after is give this car away on this channel. We need to get some more watch hours up before we do that. Let's get the FG in front shot. Beautiful night. Great temperature, no rain. Saturday, no work tomorrow. As we do take this next exit. Terry, are you listening right now? The big question is, I have connected an ambient microphone. I don't know if I've manipulated the settings enough that you can actually hear the car. If just me you can hear, fair enough. Hopefully dial it in for tomorrow. But it's a shame. It's a shame not to hear this awesome car. If you go back a few months, if you go back and watch a couple of weeks ago, you can definitely hear it because we're using a different microphone setup at the time. Sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Unfortunately, listening to the car is 1 step back. You can hear the ambient light. Get out. You can. No way. That is sick. It's hot. See it? One letter, Tezza. One letter changes everything. I thought you can. Add a T in there, and then all of a sudden the world changes. Yes, I understand. These things happen, Tez. These things happen. Who's on? So there's you, me, and two others. It's a run. Like I said, just a small testing. Yes. I doubt this will be a spoiler. There's not a lot of people spoil it, but yes, I was talking about the Dolphins before. Finn's down tonight. Finn's down. They lost. Damn it. I went for him. Peter, g'day, mates. Where are we at this evening? We are currently on Mains Road, heading towards Sunnybank. Saturday night at Sunnybank, quite a lot of cars. We go there. Some awesome Asian food there. It's like it's become the new Chinatown. Not just China, lots of Asian, lots of Asian food. Lots of eights on the personalized number plates. This thing cross this intersection. It's, guys behind us got drops. So I was chatting with my friend Sarah today about flashing your headlights. So you see a car, they don't have their headlights on, you give them a quick flash. Maybe there's cops about, you give a quick flash. Maybe there's something else. We're just like, how many different reasons might there be to flash your headlights at someone, to warn them, or to try to, like, so I just flashed my friends in front of me to basically say our friends got caught at the red light. Now, they're car people, they probably know. They probably caught that. The dirty south side. Yes, sir. Dirty south side. Being a Northside guy, I yes, uh, it's enemy territory. But it's good to get down here and cruise some different roads. So yeah, not quite at IKEA. That was a little bit further along the M1, obviously Springwood area, Peter. So, but here we are, Sunnybank. So not sure exactly what the plan will be, but I might just, when we park up, I might just leave the stream going. I mean, if I get a good spot somewhere, hopefully cars will just be like sort of filing past or something like that. We'll see. We'll see where we end up. But Sunnybank is definitely like its own sort of central business district. From Thursday nights get hectic, obviously with Thursday night shopping. Friday and Saturday nights, usually a lot of cars get down around this way. A lot of people will Northside for life. Absolutely, Peter. Me too, mate. I've lived on the south side a couple of times, Forest Lake for a little bit, Cooperoo for a little bit. I don't know if you heard that, but there's um, a car maker lots of pops and bangs. It's none of our none of our friends. What might it be? I can't even tell which car that was. Don't think it was the Mazda shades, 121 shades. I don't think it was that. Yeah, north side of Brisbane for life, Peter. I agree. I reckon Tessa probably agrees too. But thanks for joining us tonight, mate. I know there's not a lot of people watching, but this is where it starts. I know that I was chatting with James from Only Planes. He was like saying, yeah, when he first started, it was like almost you just do it. You just do it because you like it, not because anyone's watching or anything like that. And I do. I like driving. I like talking. Anyone who knows me knows that. Uh, oh, GR Mal. GR Yaris Mal. Good to have you here, brother. Says is definitely Northside. Yeah. I last year, I think it was about last year sometime I got roped into, pun intended. Triple M had a tug of war. Actually, no, it was the year before. Actually, that's right. I won tickets to the Battle of Brisbane, the first Brisbane Broncos Dolphins game. So it was 2 years ago. I won tickets because I was the captain of the Northside tug of war team. I was Mardo's on Mardo's team, and unfortunately, we had to pull uphill on the Karupa Bridge, and unfortunately, we lost, but we still got tickets. So I took my nephew to the game, and the Broncos won, of course. What a game! Yeah, the Bronx. We are going right at the roundabout. Oh, speed bumps! What a useless piece of equipment. Speed bumps. Stick it in first gear. Going up. So we're going. What is that? That's Commodore. Yeah, all the Northside boys are on tonight. Wonder where Nina is tonight. She's a Northside person. Let's hope the car doesn't scrape. No problem. Yeah, probably in the park there. Hey, so many cars. Oh, weird. Sorry. We're going to do a stream on parking. How on the little things that you can do to actually make parking better for everyone, for yourself and for everyone. Instead of just trying to get like stop and waiting for someone to pull out, that sort of stuff. There are better ways to do it. This ramp is quite steep. Ah, and here we are. Cars. Oh, lots of cars. All right, so if you're in Sunnybank tonight, that's what's going on. Oof, is that an FPV Say an FG FPV That's nice. Often anymore. But lots of peeps out. Couple of beefies on the left there. It's the sound of the ambience. Some Evos and Rexies, Commodores. Hamish! Hey, brother. Yeah, it looks like we're going to park up here. Here we go. What is that? Evo 10 right in front of us. Yeah, it's a good size, mate. I think I might just keep this. I'm going to turn the car off, but now I'm hooked up to a battery pack. I think I might just keep this keep the stream running. So enjoy the people and the cars driving past. I'm going to wind some windows up and leave the stream going. Engine off. You won't hear from me for a little while, but we'll keep it going, and then I'll come back soon. I'll take my phone so I can actually watch what's going on. Man, is that what you meant? Or why would you make me do it in front of the freaking security guy? That's not what fucking. Oh, sorry, I'm swearing. Sorry for swearing. I'm back. Whoops. All right. All these guys that you can't see off to the right, they're staying here eating food because, they're in Sunnybank. So, but. It's not what fucking. Oh, don't exit. All right. Look at you guys. I'll catch you on the next live stream. I should turn my phone down. Oh, that's not up. That's down. Try the guys. Exit. Right. All right. They were all staying for food. We're live streaming, so we're not staying for food. I am going back up to the north side. The weather is great. The roads look good. Everything's working. Nina's joined us on the live chat. Whether she's got that on going on in the background now or not, but we'll pick a way to go. Let's. Why would you drive over the speed bumps if you didn't need to? All right, where to go? Hey, for those couple of people that are watching the live stream that know the area, pick a place, pick a direction. As is too slow. Actually, we might cruise this way for a bit and then get us back to the motorway. Maybe this way. Maybe go over Logan Road. We have choices, people. We have choices. Well, that's a nice. That's right. That is just to the right of screen. Oh, just see the tail end of it. Oh, it's gone out. It's like a brushed alloy wrap or something like that. That looks nice. Registration KQ, New South Wales registration. KQ, Maserati. Little bit of money. There it goes. Can't hear it. What a shame. They don't have the Ferrari V8 like they used to. The Quattroporte Maserati was a very cool sounding car. But these new ones don't sound as cool. Right. The south side of Brisbane. Not my typical hangout. Not my typical hangout. Just checking out some waves. Not a bad car meet, that one. A fair few cars at the top of the car park there at Sunnybank. They have all gone for a drive to down south towards the Gold Coast. Can't even remember the top of the head, but down past yeah. But we could play Guess Where I Am until one day work on a map, or we'll work on how to get a map up on the screen. Obviously, it's a bit of a widget. We'll work out a kind of how to get it on the screen. Not that we'll have it up there much, but every so we want to be able to chuck it up there. Actually, if we could get Waze up there, that would be mad because I'm a massive fan of Waze. So now that we're back on the road, we can continue with our counting cars with no headlights. We've gotten, is it one already or two? It's definitely one. Picked up another couple of subscribers from the car meet, so that's cool. Zane, he doesn't actually live that far from Hangout up on the north side, so I'll catch up with him again soon. A lot of good people at that car meet. So lane change, jump in the left lane. It's platting. Been a while. Yeah, you new subscriber. Yes, Nina. I agree. Car meets. Well, I mean, you meet cool people at car meets. Aha, number two, car with no headlights on, 5 cars ahead of us. It's I literally will just drive around finding cars that people that can't drive around with any headlights. Like, why? I don't know how they do it. Where are they going? They're riding their brakes down the hill. I think they're turning, so let's follow. They're turning left, so let's go left. I think it's the first car. It's hard to tell. So obviously, when you put your brakes on, you can't tell if the tail lights are not on. But as soon as they come off the brakes, and then there's no tail lights, they've probably got their DRLs on, so the day running lights, but no tail lights. So yeah. So that's two. Nina, I definitely agree. Car meets are a good place. Well, That was the first time I parked the car up and actually had the stream continue to run because I bought a new piece of equipment which has allowed me to be able to power all the equipment. Um, so I was able to I can turn the car on and off now and it not interrupt the stream. So yep, that car in front has no lights on. And nobody else to see. I don't know. I haven't seen anybody else flashing them or anything like that. Let's see. We're on a mission. Let's see if we can get these guys to turn their lights on. Traffic's not too bad. They're off. They're off the racing. No lights on. See if I can. Let's try the flash. Let's see if we can flash them. Let's see if that they understand that their lights on. The other method that I like is I'll get up here and turn my lights off. Let's get back on. So they've got their DRLs on, their day running lights. Yeah, and the person behind me is also trying to do lights off, turn the lights on. Yeah, let's see if I can at least point out the window. Turn your lights. Turn your lights on. Turn your lights on. Yeah, there we go. Turn their lights on. There we go. Success. Samaritan. All right, job done. Let's back to where is it? I don't even know where I'm going. Where am I going? Is this? I'm on the gateway up to real heading. So I'm heading towards. I'm heading towards the north side. So we're good. It's, it's turning off my sports. That was fun. That was fun. So it's amazing um, how many people actually drive around. Yeah, Nina, it is so good that the roads are dry. This is a beautiful night for driving. I know that the camera's straight. Let's go. It's that more straight. I don't know that there's been any glitches. So for anyone that's didn't get here at the start of the stream, I've swapped my SIM cards over and running off the Optus SIM tonight, and then we've been driving out the cities. It's been good. Don't know that there's been much glitching. Sounds are glitched out really, and yeah, things seem to be okay. I seem to be heard okay. It's sad. So another step forward for the channel. Exciting, exciting. Let's take Old Cleveland Road. Let's go Old Cleveland Road back towards the city. Maybe, you know what, we haven't driven across the Story Bridge from south yet, so let's. And then Saturday night in the valley, let's cruise through the valley. That'll be like the zoo. Saturday night, Fortitude Valley, crazy. It's a bit dark here, so the camera might get a little bit. The frame rate might slow down a little bit, maybe. Definitely works better in the night. As the channel gets better, the equipment. Title look like a pilot tonight. The flying the stealth fighter, driving into the car meet. The microphone, everything happening. Yeah, I. It's well. Firstly, driving with no lights on. Number one is a safety issue. Now you might have DRLs and they might actually produce a bit of light out the front of the car, but not having any tail lights on a dark car is obviously one dangerous. Uh, and then the question is, if you're not checking that your lights are on, what else are you not checking? I mean, what else? What else are you not checking? So audio seems good. The camera is. Thank you for your feedback. I hope you've had a good weekend so far. A cool stream happening tomorrow. Ahead interstate. And we will talk about some road rules in a different state when you cross the border. It's bound for the fire. Actually, the company I work for, that intersection we just went through, yeah, all of this, they redid this. So, good part of the road. I really didn't have much to do. Yeah, just delivered stuff. So, but I know back in the day, the trams used to run in the middle. Yeah, and up here further on the centre traffic mile where the concrete is, you can still see the tram lines. Super up here. Could be mistaken. Might be here. If I see them, you won't be able to see them on the camera, so that's I should be able to see. Yes, here they are. Just to the right here, there's still old tram lines just there. It's now like centre car parking, but the tram lines, the old tram lines from like 60, 70 years ago are still in the centre of the road right there. That is weird. Yeah, all the way along here. It would be so cool to see a tram there. Neither is do you have to come to a complete stop at a stop sign? That's, I mean, at the base, at the basically, I, I mean, of course. Um, I, I don't know. Maybe the question's more like, how long do you have to stop for? Because you do need to stop. If you don't come to a complete stop, then you've not stopped. But the question is, what can constitute a complete stop? So, and that wouldn't be what you think, what I think it would be, what the TMR deem as a stop. So, I, me personally, 1 second. If you stop and you just go one and then go, you've stopped. That's how I do it, and I'll do that in front of a cop car, no problems. Um, because you've come to a complete stop, and then you don't want to be holding traffic up. You don't want to be counting one Mississippi, two Mississippi. So yeah, so stop sign come to a complete stop. But here's one. There's been some road rule questions that the RACQ put up on their Facebook page quite a lot of questions, which are which car has right of way, blue car, yellow car, red car, green car. And lately, there's been some very confusing ones involving stop signs and give way signs. And it seems that a lot of people think that a give way sign, a car coming up to a give way sign, has the priority over a car coming up to a stop sign. But that is incorrect. A car coming up to a give way sign actually has to give way to the car at the stop sign. It's just the car at the stop sign has to stop, but they actually have the priority. And a lot of people get confused because people think, well, if this car has to stop and I don't have to stop, well, then I don't need to stop. But the thing is, you need to give way to the car at the stop sign. And that's something we're going to talk about again and again and again, I am sure. So, but it's a good question. Do you need to fully come to a stop at a stop sign? Yes. How long do you need to stop for to constitute being stopped? I do it for a second. I know some people might do it for 3 seconds. I know some people will literally think they've stopped but not really stopped. Uh, the whole thing is, why is there a stop sign there instead of give way sign? That's the question. Why is there a stop sign? And it's usually because a traffic engineer has decided that the visual for that car isn't enough to just be able to look and then give way and see nothing's coming and go. Excuse me. So a traffic engineer has designed an intersection with, you could put a give way sign if there's enough visual. If you can see left and right and straight, wherever the intersection goes, if you've got enough visual to see, like most roundabouts, like you don't have, I mean, I think there's a few roundabouts that have stop signs, or there's definitely some that have traffic lights, but that's usually for traffic management. But a roundabout sign is a give way sign with a roundabout. And roundabouts are deemed, you can have enough vision to your right to see if there's any vehicles coming from the right so that you don't have to stop entering a roundabout. But if there wasn't enough vision, then that's why traffic engineers would put a stop sign up instead of give way sign. So Nina does do it for 1 second, but if you see the police, you would wait for 3 seconds. You can do that. I mean, this is being safe, but my thing is, and look, there's people will drive a certain way if there's a cop car around, and then go back to driving their normal way if they don't see a cop car. Look, that's everyone. I can't say I don't change my driving habits slightly, but I try not to do that much on the road that I wouldn't do in front of a police officer, police car. So 1 second, I wouldn't change that, especially if I stop at a stop sign. It takes me half a second to look left, half a second to look right. So if there's nothing coming, 1 second. Because you've got to look. I mean, that's the thing. How long does it take you to look? So obviously this question is stopping at a stop sign when there's no traffic coming. Obviously, if there's traffic coming, you stop and you obviously wait. I think a big thing to talk about is what does give way mean? What does give way mean? In my opinion, and it is my opinion, give way means that if you were to pull out in front of a car or a motorcycle, another vehicle, and they have to take evasive action to avoid you, well, then you didn't give way. As we come up to a roundabout there, the roundabout give way sign. I've got plenty of vision to the right. I can see nothing coming, and I don't have to stop. Left-hand indicator to indicate off the roundabout, like a good boy. There we go. Are you allowed to drive barefoot? Dina's coming out with all the good questions. Oh, just skipped across that. But there was a nice person there waiting to get across. Very low bridge. This one, there's so many scrapes on the bottom of that train bridge. So many high vehicles. Are we allowed to drive barefoot? Dina, there is. You can drive. You can drive a car in a bikini. There is no. You are allowed to drive a car in a bikini if you want to. Stop this. You can drive. I could drive a car in a pair of jocks if I wanted to legally. If I get pulled up by a cop, he might question me like, "What are you doing, mate?" That'd be an interesting story. Just doing the drive you're showing home, officer, or whatever, right? Um, you don't need to be. You do not need to have shoes to drive. You can drive barefoot. And actually, what I would say is that driving barefoot is um, you can feel the pedals. You know where they are. You can actually. It's like your feet have dexterity, and you can manipulate the brake pedal, the clutch pedal, for those who drive manual, and the accelerator pedal better when you have barefoot. I don't use. I don't drive with barefoot. Okay, here's the deal. If you've got thongs on, you should take your thongs off and drive barefoot. Moons. Sorry, you couldn't hear those cars. I don't think you can, but um, yeah. If you are wearing high heel shoes, ladies and some men out there, take them off and drive barefoot. What I wouldn't suggest you do is drive in stockings because they're very slippery and your feet will slip off the pedals as we come up towards the Gabba. Actually, I'll go this way. Might turn left here. Onto Stanley Street. There's the Gabba right in front of us. The mighty Gabba. I wouldn't suggest driving in stockings. Some socks will probably be okay. Socks are known to be grippy. Stockings slippery. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, I drive barefoot if I jump in the car and I've got thongs on, I'll take the thongs off and I'll drive barefoot. Not a legal problem with that at all. We are going to turn right up here and go across the Story Bridge. Before it gets a toll, put on Main Street. Bit bouncy, bit rough through there. Drive of shame. Well, I mean, it's the walk of shame, but in a car, isn't it? You've got all the questions tonight. Okay, have a look here. Do you think the Subaru Forester on the left has pulled up an appropriate distance from the Audi TT in front of it? Or do you think they're too far back? I could literally fit the Lexus in there. That is too far back. That if everyone did that, only half their cars would get through a set of traffic lights. That's one thing I really don't like. Is that. Yeah, what was that? Needy? Don't wear stockings. No, no. Do people not wear? Well, do people not wear stockings anymore? I don't know. I'll be honest. I can't remember the last time I had the pleasure of removing a pair of stockings that I wasn't wearing. Cannot remember. Yeah, way too far back, Dina. Absolutely. if like I'm parked behind the stopped behind the Hyundai, and if I can see over my bonnet, and I can see the tires in front of me. That's nice and close. Nice and close, but not too far. Not too close. Traffic out tonight. I don't blame them. Beautiful, beautiful weather tonight. I wonder if Tez has fallen asleep, Nina, because he was pretty active earlier until I pulled up at the car meet. Surprised he hasn't said hello to you. Yeah. So Nina's question: if you're traveling through a residential area and you can't see any speed signs, at what speed should you travel? So that's an awesome question. So Brisbane residential roads in Brisbane, for instance, and this changes from state to state and will be different from country to country. But in Brisbane, in Queensland, but Brisbane specifically, residential streets are 50 kilometres an hour unless otherwise signed. But as you said, you see no signs. So 50 kilometres an hour is a rule of thumb. Residential streets usually don't have a white dashed line down the middle of them. They're usually just black bitumen roads with no line. Rule of thumb is if it's a residential street, there's no line, it's usually 50 kilometres an hour. If there's a dashed line, then the road's a little bit wide. Chance that road might be 60 kilometres an hour. Now, this is just a rule of thumb what it might be. This isn't guaranteed. Okay? Unless otherwise signed, it's 50 kilometres an hour. But usually, if there is a dashed line down the middle of the road, like where we're driving now, that would be a 60 kilometre an hour zone. And yeah, 60 k's up. And cars there. As we come across, there's actually a speed camera right here at the change lane. As you head onto the Brisbane Story Bridge. Which is changed colour since last time we drove over. Passing over the Story Bridge Hotel just off to our left. Awesome club that one, been there a few times. Anzac Days and Australia Days. Change lane into the right lane, so that's going to take us to the valley. So the bridge is purple at this end. I'll see what the other. Definitely looks better from the side. Yeah, Mal's back. See you back, buddy. Let's go for a drive through the valley. Let's see what sort of crazies are out. Well, actually, I was out here on Thursday night. Went to a mate's. He was doing a gig thing. The thing got cancelled, so I had here for nothing. Just pull out, bro. Just pull out. There it is. That's where we were on Thursday night. Sugar Nightclub. I was supposed to be doing this balloon popping game where my friend was supposed to walk out. There'd be like 7 or 8 girls there, and if they like what they saw, they don't pop a balloon. Yeah, Mel, 50 k's an hour. Yep. All right, so off to our left, what do they call it? It used to be called X Cargo. It's now Summer House. There's that pub is just made of shipping containers. Sick pub. Awesome. I like going there. Been there a few times. Who's not feeling well? Now, you're not feeling well, buddy. If I read that right, obviously. Driving, so stuff. Not much. Oh, the valley. The lane change. Yeah, so I'm in the mid lane. Next street. Stop because I can. Stopping power in the Lexus. Bridge. Yeah. It's too many walking bridges now. I wonder what color it is. Can you drive through a red light to make way for emergency vehicles? That is a good question. Yeah, you're allowed to cross the line, like Mel's saying. You're allowed to cross the line to get out of the way of a emergency vehicle. What I suggest you don't do is follow that emergency vehicle through the red light. Quite a lot of traffic lights around Brisbane actually have, and I work with a guy who is a fiery, and they've got a button in their fire engine that when they come up to certain traffic lights, they can hit the button and it will change the traffic lights to green to allow traffic to go through and allow them to get through. So I know that there's a few of them around Chermside because I've been stuck in traffic lights when ambulance after fire engine after ambulance have come through, and and what happens is obviously traffic lights have like an algorithm where they go green this way, then green that way, and then green turns, and then what have you. And it seems like every time a emergency vehicle comes through and they press the button, that the traffic lights go back to the start of their algorithm. So I'm sitting here while I'm trying to turn right, and a fire engine comes through. It goes back to the start of the algorithm. It takes another couple of minutes before I'm about to get a green light, and then another emergency vehicle comes through, and it starts again. I had 3 emergency vehicles come through, and I was stuck there for like 6 or 7 minutes before I actually got to turn. That was the Chermside, Hamilton. Remember that like it was yesterday. So let's night, full tank of fuel. Let's turn right at Gasworks and head back around towards Tenerife, and then come back up Brunswick Street. I think that. So we'll follow this Turbo Veloster. It's a cool car. They've been around for a while now. I remember they come out. I think the first one that I saw was like 2010 with the cool, funky 2 doors on the passenger side and only the 1 door on the driver's side. Pretty cool. Driven 1 or 2. They're pretty cool. Sometimes people. So Nina, I saw it. I saw it yesterday when I was driving. So there was an emergency vehicle. There was 2 lanes. Can't remember where it was, but it was 2 lanes. Emergency vehicle was in. It was an ambulance in the right-hand lane. So people were getting in the left-hand lane. Everyone was slowing down, getting in the left-hand lane to make way for the ambulance. That was cool. Oh, look, no, car number 3, no headlights on the right there. Turn your lights off. Oh, that's 3 tonight so far. Anyway, back to this emergency vehicle. So what happens is, as you pull to the left and to get out of the way, emergency vehicle goes past, which ahead of us is a police car. There you go. Something's going on up here. Some roads blocked. What is going on? And what can tend to happen is sometimes some people decide to pull back out into the right lane behind the emergency vehicle and speed up. But what should happen is, as cars tuck in to the left lane, they should be able to come back out into the right lane again in the same order that they were in. That way, everyone but what some cheeky people will do, I call them cheeky people, but they're freaking morons. they will pull back out and accelerate really fast. So the people that had pulled into the left lanes allow the emergency vehicle to drive. They can't get back into the right lane because all of a sudden there's some mad maniac moron trying to like speed up and accelerate and drive behind the ambulance, and you'll get maybe 2 or 3 people doing that, and it's dangerous. So you've got to be careful if you pull into the left lane. Let an emergency vehicle pulling back out into the right lane might be hectic because sometimes people will do that. So there's some witches hats up here. We've got a couple of police cars. I think they might be just directing traffic, but I don't know why. So it might be down to a single lane up here. Yeah. Mal, I hope you feel better soon, mate. Some good questions, Nina. Nice restaurants around here. Not a lot of people out at the moment. It's kind of quiet considering it's beautiful night. Fat Duck off to my left. I have been there once. It was all right. It was before I went carnivore, so but you know, right? Yeah, it seems like the police have got one lane. I don't know if it's for construction or what's going on here, but they've blocked off something. Let's have a look. Not sure if it's an emergency, accident, crash, but lots of witches. It's the fact that there's all these witches hats out leads me to believe that this has been pre-organized. So something like some construction stuff, or well, it's such a nice night. I've open the sunroof. But there is a fair bit of building going on around here with like high-rise buildings, stuff like that. So, like, there's a sign just up to the left there, 57 Skyring Terrace, Aisle, Gate A. I'm assuming that's all for the construction of a new building to the left here. Sometimes construction, they have to do things at night because there's less traffic. Where's Tez? Is Tez on the stream? I can't see him. Why can't I see Tezza? Mal, yeah. Was that in your Yaris, like your GR? Because that's already. I mean, it's based on a rally car, so going up a traffic island shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, absolutely. Like, there's some freaking morons out there that just don't care about anybody else but themselves. Well, if I didn't know this was going to happen, I probably wouldn't have come this direction. It's all happening here. When I say that, I mean nothing's really happening here. But I will say, stream has been. Oh, here we go. See the lollipop guy there. So I'm going to say construction work of some description. Off to the right, I would say, which is why cars are driving on the right hand side of the road at the moment. Being, all the oncoming traffic's being directed. There we go. Oh, burst water main. Looks a bit wet around here. Maybe that's it. Pretty. Lots of stickers on here. Maybe they're tapping into. It won't be a burst water main. I reckon they're tapping into their main or the building. So they've had to dig down into the road and yeah, basically put a T piece in the pipe in the mains water pipe in the road, tee it off up into where the building is, and then where the construction site is, and then yeah, fix the road back up. Why do I think that? Well, the fact that I'm a plumber, um, that's why. So the old wool sheds off to our right here, through coming through Tenerife, really quite ritzy part of Brisbane on the river just to our left, and the old wool stores to our right. Yeah, it's not a bad part of town. So Tenerife ferry terminal just to my left back there. Can't really see, but I do remember when I was a young fella, there was markets in the old wool store sheds to our right, and on our left was just dock, like it was just open dockland to the water, to the river. It used to be where the ships loaded. Some really nice restaurants through here, London store apartments. See a lot of people do like catching the ferry along the river. I honestly think the Brisbane River is one of the most underutilized rivers of any major city in the world. We've got such a, it's called the River City, yet, I mean, we've got a few ferries that go up and down. Obviously, that's cool. Um, there's a few private function boats and stuff that you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, Sundays, whatever. But honestly, like if you like, there's so many people that live on the water. They've got their pontoons out the back, whatever, and they you hardly see that many boats. Not even that many jet skis, to be honest. It's crazy. I'm just going to pull up here, just past this bus stop. Oh, is it legal to park across your own driveway? So here's the thing. How would a traffic attendant or a police officer know that it's you parked across your own driveway? Like you're probably not going to be in your car at the time, so they don't know. So say, what are you saying? You tend to park close to the garage on your driveway, but some mornings you come out. That's at the end of the driveway, blocking from. Are you, Nina, are you saying that you park your car up near your garage, but then overnight it's slowly because your handbrake is so awesome? Is that what you're saying? That your driveway's on a bit of a hill, and that well, that's not parking across your driveway. Or are you asking, can you park across your driveway because your handbrake's so awesome that instead of it slowly sliding down the hill through the night, you're asking if you can just park across your driveway? Look, you can because I mean you can try. I mean I can't see unless somebody complains about you parking across the driveway, you're usually pretty all right. I have a friend down in Cronulla. She lives near a school, and people park across her driveway all the time to walk the kids across the school. And it just so happens that that time of the morning she needs to leave for work, and there's a car parked across her driveway. She can't get out, and she gets the absolute craps. Yep. You have a log. So I've when I was in East Timor, I noticed a lot of East Timorese. They all their old vehicles like this. They don't really have like maintenance places and stuff like that. They use bits of timber or rocks as chocks to as handbrakes. Obviously, if you have a manual car, you can obviously park it in gear as well, but you can't rely on that. Just that. Um, yeah, if you're having to chock your car because of the handbrake not working very well. Um, I mean, you can park across your own driveway. The only person who's going to complain about you parking across your own driveway is yourself. So I can't see there being a problem. Is it legal to do? Excuse me. Very good question. Something we should look up. When I say we, I mean me. I mean, you can too if you want. I'm monitoring. Seems to be a little busy in New Farm tonight. Just looking down the side streets, seems to be people around. Now, New Farm Park itself shouldn't be open. I doubt, unless there's like something on. I don't think New Farm Park itself will be open. I only drove around there last weekend, maybe the weekend before. It's been recent. It was during the day, but I think it was bad. So we're going to turn. Yeah, it's pretty busy around here. We'll turn right here and head back towards the valley along Brunswick Street. Maybe we just do a lap of the city. Such a nice night. It's not even 9 o'clock yet. Plus, let's get at least one more person driving with no lights on. So, Nina, did you notice any changes to the screen tonight? Correct. That's when they do their best trade. The mirror, is it better? Your preferred orientation? Because it literally just took 2 clicks to do. So easy to do. Totally agree. When you said it, I instantly thought, yep, you were onto something. Absolutely. So definitely reorientated the review mirror to be more correct, more authentic to actual driving. So now when you see something coming up behind me on the left, they will then reappear on the left down the front mirror, the front camera. So yes, you've definitely had some good feedback with the channel so far. Very much appreciate things that you've said and I've implemented, and you you're all over it. It does reflect what it's intended to be. Definitely. Um, everything looks except for the car sound, the ambient. I did buy an ambient mic yesterday. I just need to tweak the settings, I think, to make it to be able to pick up sound. So I've got myself into a pickle here, but now can I legally cross? Oh, I'm not going to go now. There's a car coming. So I'm going to make a lane change, cross a solid line to go around that car. I'm back in the right lane. Now, was that legal? That's the question. Was I legally allowed to change lanes across an unbroken line and go around that vehicle that was right at the intersection? Did I just break a road rule? But that's the question. I really, really try not to cross those lines because they're there for a reason. It's not like council just needed to spend a lot of money on white paint, and so they just painted solid lines everywhere. Thank you, Commodore, for letting me in. Cruise around towards Queen Street. So left here is these people. Yeah. Well, cheeky Nina. Can't see the view. I can just see him down the side street. A bit of the Story Bridge does look pretty awesome. You know what? Okay, I'm going to go through. Remember, I went to the lookout up On Tuesday night, I went up to Mount Cootha Lookout, and it was crappy weather. Well, let's go and see what it looks like right now. Should almost go and just redo all those lookouts. But we'll just cruise through past Eagle Street Pier, Eagle Street City here, and we'll just quickly go to Mount Cootha. It's so good because it's actually that close. It's a quick blast on Milton Road, and then there's the quick way up. There's Customs House in front of us. Beautiful old building, that one. Event there happening tonight by the looks. People dressed up in nice gear. Sorry, there is the Subaru. Big time pull out here, but Subaru pull out climbing. And then coming down to, is that 111 Eagle Street? The next building. I'm looking up through my sunroof. Just wondering what is Riparian Plaza, which, if you haven't heard already, is one of my favourite buildings in the world. And if I ever get the opportunity to live there, that would be my goal apartment. No, we're all good. No one's cut me off. Well, not yet. If they do, I'm very prepared. I can swap from offensive driving to defensive driving pretty quick. So there's Riparian off to the left that you can't see, but I'm looking up through my sunroof at it, and it looks amazing as always. And because this is one way street, look at this. Oh, pole position. Green canyons of the city. Oh, yes, it would be nice to hear the acceleration. 3, 2, 1, go. I gotta get it. Now go. Yep, I can hear it. Sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. Turn here onto Queen Street. Yeah, I'll turn here on the Queen Street, and then I can go a couple of blocks before I have to turn right and left again. Is there a car up there with no light? No, I'll turn. I swear I want to turn. I want to turn left here. Queen Street runs into a mall. The car up ahead just has a tail light out. So I have to wait here, waiting. Waiting for the invisible pedestrians to cross. Another, what, 10 seconds? Oh, no. That's what happens when people press the button. You have to stop because the red arrow doesn't turn green because it thinks people are there, but they're not there. But no, the car that was up front was driving. It was sitting in the left-hand turning lane at the top of the hill. But it did have a left-hand tail light. It's just the right-hand tail light is out. I don't count blown tail lights unless a car actually has like 2 blown tail lights and then their headlights are on. Scramble. Okay. See, this intersection here was one of the first intersections to be scramble intersections in the world. One of the first, where people can walk across and diagonal, a bit like Shibuya Crossing in Japan. But this crossing right here was one of the first. At least that's what my granddaddy told me when I was a young fella. And people thought it would never work because people are just going to run into each other. But as we know, they work really well. I don't really drive through Brisbane City that often. Like it's must be doing some sort of construction work here at Town Hall, off to our right. Not very much. I mean, it's still warm, I guess. Some live music somewhere off to the right. No, I don't count parked cars on the side of the road with their headlights not on there. That is George Street, I believe. Let's turn right here. This will take us. Go right, go left, up onto the Riverside Expressway, Coronation Drive, turn right somewhere. Go for a quick lap. You just replaced the brake light, did it during the day, had to wait till night to check. In a shot, yeah, I know what you're doing. So you reverse the ute up and look in a shop front window to make sure that your tail lights work, your brake lights in. Obviously, as you're reversing up, you get to check your reverse lights too. Absolutely. Oh, actually, you know what? We're going to do Milton Road. We're just going to go straight up and we'll go on to Milton Road. I need to stop here for green light. Oh, I think 2 days ago, I was driving up to a green light, and someone was literally stopped at the green light as if it was red in the left lane. Like I was in the right lane, and I just drove fast like 60 k's an hour. Obviously, tooted the horn because that is dangerous. Just to be stopped in the middle of an intersection when it's green. Just looking to replace the rear window defogger. Mine's actually in the glass. Yeah, most are. You have to get a whole new back window. That's true. It's really hard to fix them. Usually it's just like if they get scratched or if you've had tint on them or something like that. Yeah, the window demisters, rear window demisters, they're inside, like basically they're a part of the windscreen. If it's not working, check to see. I mean, they can't be fixed because they're just sort of they're just wires basically through the glass. Um, it could just be the connector at the end. So most cars will have a wire connector on one side of the window, and then right across the other side, they'll have a wire connector there. And sometimes, I mean, a car as old as yours, when we're talking 20 something years old, it might just be a bit of corrosion. You guys are coming up with all the ways of checking lights and what have you. Thought it was a sticker. It's you know what? That's a really good question about can you buy a repair kit for the rear window demister? I don't know. I'm just good with a soldering iron. Well, I mean, if the tint's crappy, is it the whole demister not working or only a certain couple of lines on your rear demister? Because if it's just a couple of lines, that is annoying, but that is usually in the window itself, yes? If it's, I'm going to make a change those just yet. Because of the solid lines. Um, if the whole thing's not working, it's probably your connections with the wires to or from. or could even be a switch. Might even be a switch. I know that older Toyota switches can stop working. All right, so is it just a few lines not working, or at least one line? It's so annoying. Even if one line's not working, it is so annoying. But it usually just takes a couple of extra minutes for the whole window to heat up, and then it works. I do think I'm still trying to remember which car I have where there's one line that doesn't work, but it just takes an extra couple of minutes. So I'm indicating car behind me as being awesome, and letting me in. Come right across. Well, they've changed their things. And turning left onto Milton Road, I think a couple of nights ago. And into the right lane. Beautiful. Suncorp Stadium still all lit up. Fins down. Fins down. Unfortunately, the Dolphins lost tonight to New Zealand, to the Warriors, which sucks because I went for the Dolphins in the footy tipping. Lost that. All the fuses and switches work. No. You want to strip the whole window. Well, stripping the window tint should not affect the deepest